I swear I would not survive without this app. Like, wallah, I would not survive without TikTok. Because I will literally just be scrolling on my For You page and I will learn something. It'll be something that I already know, like, subconsciously, but it'll, like, really click for me. Literally just watching TikTok videos, like, trends and stuff. So I started my journey to looking for marriage in, like, late spring, early summer, right? And I already knew at that point that I didn't really have any interest with, like, marrying somebody who is, like, I would quote-unquote ethnically American. I just don't really like the mindset that is bred into American men when they're raised in American culture. Like, it's one thing if you're raised here, but, like, your family is from somewhere else. But, like, families, like, men who are from families that are, like, from America just, like, have the worst view. Even Muslim men still just, like, their views of women, their views of a relationship and all of that is just garbage. And I'll be damned if I spent years learning how to cook and clean and be a good housewife, you know, produce healthy children, spend 5 to 6 days in the gym and hundreds of dollars on skincare for a man to ask me to pay half of the bills. Like, no, thank you. And I had like a little bit of experience from before I was Muslim when I was younger, like dating like Middle Eastern men or just like foreign men in general. So obviously, like, I knew a little bit of like the beginner stuff on like how to avoid getting literally scammed by men. But I genuinely didn't realize like how deep some of it goes. So like obviously, like, as a Muslim looking for marriage, a lot of my like quote unquote dating pool, I know you guys hate when I say the word dating, but like the pool of potential husbands, like there's gonna be a lot of Arabs, right? And like we all know the stereotype of Arab men, like they're super romantic, like they're super possessive, like they're super doting and loving and all of this stuff. But like I couldn't figure out why some of them were and some of them weren't. Like, some of the men that I would talk to would literally fall in love with me in like seconds, which obviously red flag. But you know, also like I think I'm perfect, so like why wouldn't you fall in love with me immediately? And some of them were like really cold and distant. Like they you know spoke that they had interest in me, but like were not being what I considered like the level of romantic, the way that like Arab men are quote unquote supposed to be, you know? And then maybe like a month and a half or 2 months ago, I kind of just like through other reasons was just like, you know what? I don't really have that much of an interest in marrying somebody who doesn't have citizenship or like at least a green card. Like, I don't really want to get like scammed into a marriage with somebody who's just marrying me for my citizenship. Like, I don't want to always think like, did he marry me for my citizenship? Like, I just don't want that level of paranoia or risk. The only exception to that being like if it is somebody that I know, it is somebody they know and they're like aware of who this person is. Like, I've asked my friend's husband, like, hey, if you have any like cousins or nephews like back home who you think would be a good match for me, let me know. Like, I'd be willing to like marry somebody who doesn't have citizenship if it's somebody that is known by somebody else that I know and trust, right? But other than that, I specifically started looking for somebody who has citizenship or a green card, and there was like a huge difference all of a sudden as to how I was being treated. I literally thought that all of a sudden I was ugly. I literally, like, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, is my acne worse? Like, did something change about my face? Like, did my body recomp go wrong? Like, what's happening? And it literally wasn't until yesterday when I saw like multiple videos. It was like picture slides on here. I think it's like a trend right now. I wish that I could remember what the sound was for it because I would add it to this video, but I can't. But like, it's literally like men, and they're like the first slide is like, oh, you know, like, why aren't, like, somebody talking to them saying like, oh, like, I thought that Arab men were supposed to be so romantic, like, you're not sweet to me at all, like, blah, blah, blah. And then it, like, the second picture, it's like, it's because I don't need my papers. And oh my gosh, like, that's when it finally clicked to me. Because it's not that men that I have interacted with that have their papers, that have their green card or citizenship, aren't like sweet to me or romantic to me and showing interest. It's just like the level at which they do it is not even comparable to a man who is like desperately trying to get the visa, you know? Because I've literally had men who would like hound me every single day, messaging me, calling me like all the time. They're so in love with me, they'll die without me, blah 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 blah. No, baby, you'll die without the green card. Like, and you know that those are the kind of relationships that like as soon as you're married, they have like a huge change up. There's like, they have no care for you, like they're just trying to make it to that, what, like that 2-year mark or that 3-year mark where they get their passport and then they're gone. Like, or, you know, they're not gone, but like they literally will stop, like the little breadcrumbs that they give you during marriage, like after they change from super romantic to 90% of who they are, like those little breadcrumbs they give you to keep you married to them until they know that they're good, like then those are gone and you're in like, you're literally living in a hell, you know? But it was just so funny to me because I was like, how am I so stupid? Like, I didn't realize that this is why men are treating me different. It's not because anything changed in me. It's because I stopped dating men or like talking to men who are desperate for citizenship. And it especially became like really apparent to me, like thinking about like how my temporary husband had treated me. And it's not that he treated me bad. I mean, like, you know, there was a lot of things that we argued about and a lot of things that we didn't agree on or get along about or whatever. But, like, I always was like, just be sweet to me, be sweet to me. He's like, I am being sweet to you. He's like, I'm just not, he's always like, I'm not super romantic. Like, I'm not one of those types. And I, like, was like, okay. But then, like, seeing this trend and thinking about it, it's like, he was, in a way, I mean, at least more romantic than, like, the average American guy. But he doesn't need me to stay in this country. So he doesn't need to constantly please me. And he doesn't need to be, like, passive and just agree with my opinions and agree with what I say and do whatever I want. Because he's good. He doesn't need his papers. He has his papers already. Like, I don't know. Everybody always talks about how terrible this app is and how bad it is, but like genuinely, if you're on the right side of this app, if you're seeing the right things on this app, it could at least maybe save you from like accidentally getting into like a terrible trap of a marriage.